from Rick's Firearm Academy in Detroit, Mr. Rick Ector. Rick, how you doing, sir?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. Once again, thanks for having me on the show. I'm actually burning up. I'm standing out overlooking Hoover Dam right now.
Are you really?
I truly am.
So
it's an awesome sight.
Have you fled Detroit for good then? You're not coming back, or are you just taking taking
I'll
a break?
never leave Detroit. Detroit is home, man. Every now and then when you're doing the things that we do, you're advocating for gun rights and training people how to protect themselves. Every now and then you got to take a vacation. One of the great things is taking the NRA annual meeting every spring. But you know what? It was time for me to run out of town for 3-4 days, and I had an opportunity and took full advantage of it.
Well, listen, I know that the city of Detroit wish you the very best of luck in Las Vegas with the games of chances. They could use any sort of dividends you might be able to provide them, Rick, because they have no money in the city of Detroit anymore, and we don't quite know what's going to happen with the bankruptcy hearings. But we know that your city's not in a good place, and it hasn't been in a good place financially for a long time. How does that impact the mindset of citizens of Detroit when it comes to their personal protection?
Well, it's the whole situation is causing a lot of uncertainty. I mean, there was some people who were thinking that the federal government might even consider bailing us out. The city of Detroit is the 5th largest municipality in this country. Excuse me, is the largest city that has declared bankruptcy in this country. We, for better or for worse, will be a test case for all the cities, the counties, and the states that are in bad trouble. When they see what we're going to have to go through, it might force them to do whatever is required to avoid a municipal bankruptcy, man, because we don't know what's going to happen. People are calling me. They're definitely upset. They are concerned about their safety. Crime in the city of Detroit has been out of control before the bankruptcy was declared. And right now, we don't know how much worse it could possibly get. One of the things that they said for us to do is not to panic and that everything should be the same as it was the previous day. But going forward, at some point in time, it's going to be in the hands of other people, probably a federal judge that will determine what assets we have, what are they worth, and who they're going to be distributed to. And in the meantime, we have to figure out how we're going to remain safe,
Well, absolutely, and you're right. Detroit has been plagued with crime for years. I remember, I think it was at least 3 or 4 years ago, Rick, talking with you about an attempted carjacking that took place right outside of Detroit Police Headquarters.
Yeah,
and it was an attempted It was an attempted carjacking because the guy that is a right to carry holder.
Yeah, and it happens a lot. But fortunately, for the city of Detroit and the great state of Michigan, man, we have shall issue. And one of the great things that we have when we have these cities that are entrenched in violent crime, such as Detroit, Flint, and Benton Harbor, and Saginaw, man, we still have the right to be able to carry a firearm and take it with us wherever we go, minus the pistol-free zones to protect ourselves. And every so often there's an opportunity where the news media will actually cover a story in which we have a DGU, a defensive gun use story, that actually validates, carrying a gun for personal protection and that you don't need to be a police officer to do so. All you need is a fair amount of training and the willingness to protect yourself, your family, and your home.
Talking with Rick Ector from Rick's Firearm Academy in Detroit. And Rick, are more people, in your opinion, taking advantage of the good gun laws in Michigan so that they can protect themselves?
We're taking full advantage of them. There's been a steady increase since we went to shall issue. And then, when crime just got ridiculously out of hand and because of our poor finances here, whether it's due to corruption and cronyism and mismanagement, we've seen police stations close down and go to virtual police precincts. We've seen virtual 911. We've seen the elimination of police runs to home alarms. And people are just, getting fed up, man. And there's a lot of uncertainty as to what really the government can do for you at the local level. And they're taking on a more active role in their personal protection. And I'm here to guide them and show them the way.
Well, listen, man, we're glad that you're with us. Thank you for coming on the show this afternoon. And I really hope we can talk again soon, Rick.
Man, it's always my pleasure. Give my regards to the other Cam, Mr. Pop, and Mr. Price, man. I love you guys.
Well, we love you too, Rick. And I was going to say, stay cool out there near the Hoover
Man,
Dam.
it's hot. I'm looking at the thermometer, and it's saying hot.
Next time you think about taking a vacation, come talk to me before you book a trip to Nevada and the desert in July. All right?
You know what? You can't beat the availability. I mean, there's definitely plenty of accommodations to go to the desert in the summertime.
Well, there is that. Hey, Rick, thanks, man. Rick Ector.